Te Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is a different verse than what we usually read. It's 3.5.3. Janasya Krishnad Vimukhasya Daivat Adharma Silasya Sudikhitasya Anugrahaya Iha Charanti Nunam Bhutani Bhavyani Janardanasya Janasya Krishnad Vimukhasya Daivat Adharma Silasya Sudukhitasya Anugrahaya Iha Charanti Nunam Bhutani Bhavyani Janardanasya Janasya Krishnad Vimukhasya Daivat Adharma Silasya Sudukhitasya Anugrahaya Iha Charanti Nunam Bhutani Bhavyani Janardanasya. Janasya Krishnad Vimukhasya Daiva Adharma Silasya Sudukhitasya Anugrahaya Charanti Nuna Bhutani Bhavyani Janardanasya Asya Krishna Vimukhasya Daiva Adharma Silasya Sudukhitasya Anugrahaya Charanti Nunam Bhutani Bhavyani Janardanasya. Janasya Krishna Vimukhasya Daiva Adharma Silasya Sudukhitasya Anugrahaya Charanti Nuna Bhutani Bhavyani Janasya of the common man. Krishnat from the Supreme Lord Krishna. Vimukhasya of the one who has turned his face against the Lord. Daivat by the influence of external energy. Adharmasilasya of one who is engaged in irreligion. Sudukhitasya of one who is always unhappy. Anugrahaya due to being compassionate towards them. Iha in this world. Charanti wander. Nunam certainly. Bhutani persons. Bhavyani great philanthropic souls. Janardanasya of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. O my Lord, great philanthropic souls travel on the earth on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to show compassion to the fallen souls who are averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord. Translation with repetition. O my Lord, great philanthropic souls travel on the earth on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to show compassion to the fallen souls who are averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. To be obedient to the wishes of the Supreme Lord is the natural position of every living entity. But due only to past misdeeds, a living being becomes averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord and suffers all the miseries of material existence. No one has anything to do but render devotional service to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Therefore, any activity other than transcendental loving service to the Lord is more or less a rebellious action against the Supreme Will. All fruitive activity, empirical philosophy, and mysticism are more or less against the sense of subordination to the Lord. And any living entity engaged in such rebellious activity is more or less condemned by the laws of material nature, which work under the subordination of the Lord. Great unalloyed devotees of the Lord are compassionate towards the fallen, and therefore they travel all over the world with the mission of bringing souls back to Godhead, back to home. Such pure devotees of the Lord carry the message of Godhead in order to deliver the fallen souls, and therefore the common man, who is bewildered by the influence of the external energy of the Lord, should avail himself of their association. Thus ends the wonderful transcendental Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Krishna Prashnaya Bhutale Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Chanchalpati Prabhu was supposed to take the class, and 7:45, 7:50 Prabhu messaged he's not able to. So, sometimes it can happen like that, actually when we are facing the struggles or the challenges of the life, not that always we will have guidance, but we have to figure it out on our own. That's what the whole purpose of practicing devotional life is meant to be. So on this wonderful occasion of the 60th year of Srila Prabhupada's arrival, I was thinking which verse could be a befitting one. Of course, I was mentioning about this verse in last Sunday also. It's a beautiful verse actually. Janasya krishnad vimukhasya daivat adharma silasya sudukhitasya anugrahaya iha charanti nunam bhutani bhavyani janardanasya. Janasya krishnad vimukhasya daivat. Janasya is referring to all of us, the living entities who have accepted human body in this material world. And one common characteristics of all of us is Krishna Vimukhasya. We've turned our face away from Krishna. How did we do that? On our own, this thing? Daivat. Daivat is by the external energy of the Lord. Janasya Krishna Vimukhasya Daivat. Of course, we wanted to, and it is being facilitated by the external energy of the Lord. Janasya Krishna Vimukhasya Daivat. What happens if you turn your face away from Krishna? Adharma silasya. One engages in irreligious activities. In the name of becoming happy, in the name of becoming powerful, in the name of becoming successful, in the name of fulfilling so many material desires, countless. One does adharma silasya. Okay, even if it is adharma, what is it resulting in? Is the person becoming happy, fulfilling all his desires? Sudukhitasya. Not just dukhitasya, but sudukhitasya. Yes, very, very unhappy. Anugrahaya yeha charanti nunam. Nunam is certainly, actually, only for this nunam pramatta kurute vikarma, that nunam, certainly, most absolutely, is one class of devotees. There is one class of people. Anugrahaya yiha charanti nunam. They travel, they wander all over this universe with one goal, only, certainly only with this one goal. What is it? The compassion that they have for iha, for this material world. Anugrahaya iha charanti nunam. Bhutani bhavyani janardanasya. Bhutani bhavyani. They carry the Lord in their heart and they want to give that to the people who are sudukhitasya because they are doing adharma silasya. Why they are adharma silasya? Because they are krishnad vimukhasya. Janasya krishnad vimukhasya daivat. Adharma silasya sudukhitasya. And Srila Prabhupada is no exception. Actually, if we just meditate on the austerities which Prabhupada undertook, which he had to endure, just to deliver us, how much of sacrifice, how much of austerity, and how determined he was to execute the order of his spiritual master. In our case, even if the opportunity comes, we are so caught up in our lives, so busy, so engaged, so difficult. Sometimes people come back and say, Prabhu, I did it last time, this time you find somebody else. Right? Just few days gap, things change. Prabhupada met his guru in 1922, got initiation in 1933, came here in 1965. On September 17th, as per Tithi, today is the day when he arrived. 33 years, if you see, 43 years, 1922 to 43 years, hardly he has met his guru few times. But to carry out his instructions, he never gave up. It was not like the environment was very supportive. There were a lot of encouragements from his god brothers that you should try, Abhay Babu, you should not give up. And they were encouraging or something like that. No encouragement. There was no support, no encouragement, financially, emotionally, spiritually, nothing. But the determination. This is what is a pure devotee. Bhutani bhavyani janardanasya. They are actually our real well-wishers. Bhutani bhavyani janardanasya. In Nectar of Devotion, there is a mention of one verse which says, why should we accept spiritual master? What are the qualifications of spiritual master? What are the qualifications of a disciple? It's not like only the guru has to be qualified. Doesn't matter who we are, what we do, how we do. It's all fine. Because I've gotten shelter of Prabhupada. Who we are, what should be the mood, and what should be the, how should a disciple should perform his activity, and who should be the guru. That is mentioned in Nectar of Devotion, a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Also that verse is quoted by Gopal Bhatt Goswami in his Hari Bhakti Vilas, given elaborate commentary to that verse by Sanatan Goswami. Does anybody know which verse is that from Bhagavatam? You don't have to guess, don't worry about it. It's a beautiful verse. Very, very powerful verse, because it talks about the qualification of a guru and the qualification of a disciple also. The verse comes in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. Jigyasu Shreya. No, what is the first line? Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta. Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta. Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. Sabde Parecha Nisnatam. Brahmani Upashramashrayam. Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam Sabde Parecha Nishnatam Brahmani Upasamashrayam. This is the verse which is quoted by Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Devotion when he talks about the qualification of a guru and the qualification of disciples. Very, very interesting, very nice. For lack of better word, we say guru means teacher. But the teacher could be anybody who is even teaching you some martial arts, could be teaching you some sports, could be teaching you some musical instruments. All of them are gurus, teachers. But Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, the word guru, when it is referring to, does it refer to the same word, same guru, like a teacher? Or what does it mean? It's not the same guru. This guru is very different. In one place in Vedic literatures, it is mentioned, Gu means the darkness of material existence, and Ru is the light of spiritual knowledge. So Guru is one who can deliver us from the mire of material existence, from the darkness of material existence. How easy that is on our own? Impossible. We can't come out on our own. That's why Krishna says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshana. We'll come to that verse. But let's see why this verse is so important when Rupa Goswami is mentioning about this verse. Tasmad gurum prapadyeta jigyasu shraya uttamam sabde parecha nishnatam brahmani upasamashrayam. In that, the two qualifications of the guru which is mentioned is the third line which says Sabde Parecha Nishnatam. The word Nishnatam, it comes from the same root as Snana. Snana means taking bath. Snana means taking bath. So Sabde Parecha Nishnatam. A guru is one who has taken bath in Sabde and also in Pare. What is Sabde? Sabde means words. Sabde means the Vedic literature. It's also sound. That's why Vedas are also called Shruti. Shruti is another name of Vedas. Who has bathed himself in Vedic literature, who's well versed. Sabde Nishnatam and Pare Parecha Nishnatam. Pare Nishnatam means who's fixed in Brahman. Who's just gone through this Vedic literatures, but also who's realized. What realization? Para realization. Who's got the transcendental realization, who's bathed in that. Sabde parecha nishnatam. Brahmani upasramashrayam. He is a guru, he's not some ordinary person. He knows the essence of Vedic literature and he's realized. Pare nishnatam. What about the disciple? This is about the guru. What about the disciple? Prapadyeta tasmad. Tasmad means in Sanskrit means hence, therefore. Tasmad gurum prapadyeta. You must surrender prapadyeta. What does the word surrender mean? We will try to find out. Prapadyeta. But you have to surrender to a guru. First principle of a disciple is he must surrender. And then jigyasu shreya uttamam. He should be inquisitive about the shreya, the ultimately beneficial thing. Uttama shreya. Jigyasu shreya uttamam. That which culminates in devotional service, one should be inquisitive about it. What that means is, that means that you should not have so many worldly pursuits and inquiries. If you have that, you can't inquire about Shreya Uttamam, Jigyasu. Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. We have so many other interests, inquiries, so many these things. And Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam is not possible. Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam Sabde Parecha Nishnatam Brahmani Upasramashrayam. The translation goes like this. Any person who seriously desires real happiness must seek. It's not an option, it's not a choice. Must seek a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. The qualification of the bona fide guru is that he has realized the conclusions of the scriptures by deliberation and is able to convince others of these conclusions. Such great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material considerations, should be understood to be bona fide spiritual masters. Anyway, so tasmad gurum prapadyeta jigyasu shreya uttamam. Actually, sometimes, some of the very simple things don't strike us. Very, very simple things. And that is where the secrets of the spiritual life gets revealed. And sometimes some people take up to devotional life, but sustaining, keeping one's interest abreast, and maintaining and doing it more enthusiastically, it dries down. Why, how, and what can we do? How do we know this? How do we receive this knowledge? Okay, there is a qualified guru, there is a compassionate spiritual master who's wandering, who wants to deliver people like us who are Krishnasya Vimukhasya Daivat. We have turned our face away. It's not easy to turn back our face towards Krishna. Very difficult. But they are wandering, they are giving that mercy. How do we receive it? Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, very nicely he says, Tad Biddhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshanti Te Jnanam Jnanenas Tattva Darshana. Anybody knows which chapter, which verse is this? Very good. Verse? 30? Chapter number 4, verse number 34. We all know this verse, right? Tad Viddhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshanti Te Jnanam Jnanenas Tattva Darshana. Let us meditate on this verse on this auspicious day. Can anybody say what does the word tat in that Tad Viddhi Pranipatena refers to? Them. That. Then. Truth. Who said truth? Truth. Absolute truth. Okay, why speculate? I'll show you what it is. It's very, very interesting. It is? So, what does that mean? I don't want to go to the wrong translation and make you confused. So this verse, you are seeing that? Tad Biddhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshanti Te Jnanam Jnanenas Tattva Darshana. The first word that is used there is tat. That knowledge of different sacrifices. What knowledge of different sacrifices? You have to go to the previous verse. So the previous verse, it says, Shreyan Drabhyamayad Yagyad Jnana Yagyah Parantapa Sarvam Karma Khilam Partha Jnane Parisamapyate. It's a very, very important verse. Actually, in this 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is talking about different kinds of sacrifices. People generally do sacrifice Sacrifice means what? Drabya yajna is very simple to understand. Shreyan drabya mayad yajna. You conduct some sacrifice, you offer something in oblations, you do this thing, some ghee, something you offer, with a goal that you will achieve some better prosperity in life, good fortune, and so on and so forth. But here he is telling Shreyan Drabhyamaya Yagyad Jnana Yajna Parantapa. Better than Drabya Yajna, Shreyan Drabhyamaya Yajna is Jnana Yajna. Jnana Yajna Parantapa. Far better than Drabya Yajna is Jnana Yajna. And Sarbam Karma Khilam Partha Jnane Parisamapyate. All the actions that we are doing, Sarbam Karma Khilam Partha Jnane Parisamapyate. It concludes, Parisamapyate is translated by Prabhupada, ends in transcendental knowledge. So this is actually this verse is very simple in one way if you see, but it has got a lot of intricacy. O chastiser of the enemy, because he is addressed as Parantapa, the sacrifice of knowledge is greater than the sacrifice of material possessions. O son of Pratha, after all, the sacrifice of work culminates in transcendental knowledge. So there are different people who do different activities for different reasons. Shreyan Drabyamayad Yajna Jnana Yajna Parantapa. What is the mood behind that activity? Why you are doing that activity? There are 4 ways of doing any activity. If you read Bhagavad Gita properly, you will see there are 4 ways. One, when you are influenced by the mode of goodness, it leads to knowledge. When you are influenced by the mode of passion, it leads to heaven. Or you take birth in this material, madhya tishtanti rajasa. And if you are influenced by the mode of ignorance, you will degrade yourself to the hellish planets, which is the 4th one. There are 3 gunas, right? So I 4 bol diya, galti se bol diya. 4th one is when you are not influenced by any modes of material nature, which is called akarma. When there is no motive behind doing any activity. If you read Bhagavad Gita, in 17th chapter, Krishna says, Satkaramana pujartham tapodambhena chaivayat kriyate tadiha proktam rajasam chalamadhrubam. Satkaramana pujartham. Sometimes we do some activities for satkara, respect, mana, honor, pujartham, for worship. We want people to know that I have done this. Deep, strongly deep within. Most of the days when nobody is around, nobody will be seen. But when something where some people have accumulated, I want to hog the limelight. I want to come. Or I want to be known that the service is done by me. Satkaramana pujartham tapodambhena chaivayat. You do that, you will get all of those things. Whatever you are hankering for, it will come. But devotional life, devotional service, that will not come. More than the physical activity, the mood that we carry is far more important. I remember when I went to Vrindavan, it was first time maybe in 2007 or 2008, one of those years, I don't remember exactly, but in the Parikrama Marg of Govardhan Parikrama, those days the roads were not so nice. I mean, used to be far more worse than now. It's all very nicely done. You take the Brihat Parikrama Marg or what is the interior Parikrama Marg. A little bit you can walk on the sand and then you have to anyway come. There used to be one person who used to stand in one leg. You go there, you pass through that Parikrama Marg, you'll always see that that person is standing there in one leg. People will go and do some money, something they will send and they'll throw in this thing. And you won't believe, now you go in that Parikrama Marg, that person has got followers. They also stand in one leg. And it is called Khadeshwar Babaji or something, Khadeshwar Mutt or something. People are standing. There are people who do different kinds of austerity to gain some popularity, they have some ulterior motive behind that. They do that so that they get that recognition, that fame, this thing, and they are looking for that. But this is not that. Sarvam karma khilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Once you get that transcendental knowledge, it's not easy to get that. Why it is not easy? That Krishna mentions in the next verse. How do you receive it? All the work that we are doing, it should end in jnane, in transcendental knowledge. Okay. Mind you, if somebody thinks that, okay, if it has to end in transcendental knowledge, does it mean that I should not do my activities? No, you should learn to do activities, but in a way which is completely detached, which is free from being bound by the reaction of those actions. If that would have been not the case, at the end of 4th chapter, when Krishna is talking in this transcendental knowledge, he would have not said, Arjuna, that Atishtatishta, what is that verse, last verse of Tasmad ajnana sambhutam hritstham jnana asinatmanaha chitvainam samsayam yogam atishtatishta bharata. He would have not said that, destroy this ignorance with the sword of knowledge and get up and fight. He's not saying that, okay, jnane parisamapyate, that means you sit in one place and meditate on this. No, you have to do devotional activity, but you need to know how to do that devotional activity. And this jnana, how it is ending in transcendental knowledge, can be known. Tad vidhi. That knowledge, you want to know how it end, how all this sarva karma khilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Sarva and akhila. All kinds of activities that we are doing. Whatever, you are a grihastha, you are somebody who is studying, you are somebody who is retired, whoever you may be. Sarva karma khilam partha jnane parisamapyate. And that jnana, if you want to know, Arjuna, the method is tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva. One of the most seminal verses of Bhagavad Gita. Very powerful. Sometimes some of those verses which we quote very often, regularly, we ourselves don't know what exactly they mean. Tadvidhi pranipatena. If you know transcendental, you go to a spiritual master. What does it mean? Tadvidhi pranipatena. The three things which are mentioned, and Prabhupada's purport is just brilliant actually. Very, very nice. First thing which is given is pranipat. What does the word pranipat mean? क्या है प्रणिपात का क्या मतलब है? Surrender, pay obeisances. What else? Prabhupada's translation is by approaching a spiritual master. The word pranipat, we say sastanga pranipat, right? For Matajis it is panchanga pranipat, and for all of us it is sastanga pranipat. What does sastanga means? Which are the 8 angas? Which are the 8 angas? Legs, 2 legs, 2 hands, 4, 5, chest. What are the 2 other things? Mind and words. So when you are paying obeisance, actually it's a mood of full surrender. I am at a lower position. I am nimna. If you want to receive knowledge, and you sit in the same way also. क्या है बताओ? क्या है? Spiritual? मैं सब जानता हूँ, bro. भगवद गीता बहुत सालों से पढ़ रहा हूँ. The knowledge will not be revealed. When we are bowing down before the spiritual master, we should also say our name. Vani, I am a fool, so and so. I am bowing down before you. Pranipata, by your mind, by your words. Sometimes people bow down just because what others will think. Everybody is bowing down, I have to bow down. If you really want to receive the transcendental knowledge, accept yourself as lower than the person who's revealing that knowledge. If that is not there, forget about this. This is not some joke. This is not some ordinary thing which we can acquire. Okay, not here, I'll find somebody else. I'll get that. What is the big deal? It's a big deal. Tad viddhi pranipatena. The right mood, this thing is very, very important. Actually, in Vedic scriptures, jnana, or the knowledge, is compared with water. You know, when it rains, when in monsoon time, when it rains on some mountains and hills, and it comes down. It flows down. Knowledge always flows from a higher level to a lower level. If inside us there is so much of arrogance or pride, I don't even feel like bowing down to any superior. Actually, our culture earlier was so nice, Vedic culture. This was taught. Anybody who's senior to us, we bow down. We touch the feet of our parents. Those cultures are gone. Now people have so much of pride. I am so opulent. I know so much. If that I know so much is there, and you want to take this knowledge, it will not happen. Tad viddhi pranipatena. Mind you, this is not about one class, one knowledge, one this thing, one session. It's a sarva karma khilat. The whole, every activity has to conclude in that jnanam parisamapyate. It is not easy. First thing is pranipat. Full surrender. I am helpless. Arjuna at the beginning was speaking so many words. So many big things he was talking. What did Krishna say? Klaibhyam asma gama partha naitattvai upapadyate kshudram hridaya daurbalyam. What is the last one? He is saying, where all these impurities have come into his life, this is not befitting. Get up and fight. He is not revealing. The revelation of transcendental knowledge is actually the mystery of the parampara that we are coming in. Where Prabhupada is connected, and through him we are also connected to that glorious parampara starting from Krishna, Brahma, Madhvacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If that knowledge has to be revealed, these are the qualifications Bhagavad Gita is telling very clearly. Pranipat. Tad viddhi pranipatena. Pranipatena. Pranipat is very, very important. Then second one is pariprashnena. Whenever the word pari is used, pari means all-encompassing. Pariprashnena. There is that word pari also used in 9th chapter Bhagavad Gita. Ananyas chintayanta mam ye jana pariupasate. Pariupasate means engaging in devotional service in full mind, body, words, not some करके कैसे कुछ करके भाग जाना है. That's not devotional. And for what? What are we doing it for? Pariprashnena. Actually, this is one of the most important thing, I would say. Inquiry, and the right kind of inquiry. What people generally ask in this world, in the society. प्रभु जी, घर में बहुत सारा प्रॉब्लम है. बीवी बात नहीं सुन रही है, बच्चे बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, और कुछ हेल्थ का इशू है, कुछ ये है, प्रमोशन नहीं मिल रहा है, जॉब नहीं है, दुनिया भर का all material problems. There is I was seeing one video of Gopal Bhatta Goswami's. Those Goswamis who are worshipping, what is his name? Pundarik Maharaj or something. His wife, she's giving this example. She's saying that, you go to a sonar. Sonar is like a goldsmith. If you've gone to a goldsmith's, this thing, and then at least ask for some gold things, no? Some ornament which is made up of gold. Don't get just satisfied with some milk or some tea or whatever, some Coca-Cola that she is giving it. Goldsmith has given me Coca-Cola and I'm happy. That is what is actually asking for some material solutions to our problems that we are going through in life. You come to the Lord also with the same thing. Dhan de do, ye de do, all simple things. The Lord can give us transcendental knowledge. The Lord's representative can give us the transcendental knowledge. Pariprashnena. Questions are the most important. You have to ask the right question in the right mood. Not in a manner, देखो see, the question that I asked, कोई सोच सकता है क्या क्वेश्चन पूछा हूं मैं. एक्चुअली हमको बॉडी सोल का डिफरेंस पता नहीं होगा. कभी कभी क्वेश्चन आता है, प्रभु ये मंजरी भाव क्या होता है. मंजरी भाव, हम कौन है, हम मंजरी भाव कहाँ है हमारा. एक्चुअली व्हाट इज आवर क्वालिफिकेशन, व्हाट वी नीड टू आस्क, नॉट जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ आस्किंग so that I gain the attention. See, I have asked question, not to test the knowledge of the speaker. How much, what he knows. मैं उससे बहुत ज़्यादा जानता हूँ. In the right mood, you have to ask. Pariprashnena. And sometimes some of the questions are asked, whether you give answer or not, it doesn't matter. Like sometimes some people will ask question. So ये Kurukshetra war में जो that so many Akshoinis of sannyas were there, where they were passing stool, how the arrangement for the toilets would have been made. What is the big deal if you know the answer? But I have a curiosity, I want to know. Like a child sometimes asks, when he's going along with his parents, ये क्या है, वो क्या है, ये क्या है. Whether the father gives answer or not, it doesn't matter. Ask the right question. Bharyan eshate prashna. Yat katha Krishna samprashna. Sukadev Goswami, when he begins to answer the questions of Parikshit, Bharyan eshate prashna. Very nice questions. Bhavadbhir loka mangalam. This is actually meant for the auspiciousness, for the well-being of the human beings. Bhavadbhir loka mangalam. Not some random questions. Hey Krishna, हर वक्त येलो क्यों पहनता है? क्या करेगा जान के बाबा येलो क्यों पहनता है? Pariprashnena. Tadviddhi pranipatena pariprashnena. And the last and the most important thing is sevaya. Seva. What is the purpose of seva? Why should we do seva? When we do seva with the right mood to someone, the person's heart becomes soft. And when the heart, you are doing seva to please that person, right, who has assigned you service. Your spiritual master, if he has assigned you services, your mood should be how to please him. If the spiritual master is not pleased, but I am doing service, no. As if I am doing a big favor coming here. It's as if the person who is doing service, we are doing service to him. Now he'll feel what? He'll feel unhappy. He'll feel bad. I'm not giving him service. Mood of service should be, I should please that person. When that person is pleased, his heart is soft, naturally he'll feel inclined to share that knowledge. Tadviddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Sevaya is very, very important. In Bhagavatam, in the beginning, in the first canto, first chapter, 8th verse, there is that mention of this, what is that word exactly? Snigdhasya. Vetatvam saumya tat sarvam tatvatas tadanugrahad bruhyu snigdhasya sisyasya. Snigdhasya. Bruhyu snigdhasya sisyasya. Guravo guhyam apyuta. The confidential knowledge, guhyam, confidential knowledge will not be revealed just like that. A person doesn't have this thing, no service attitude, jab aya, man kiya, dekha, nahi to nahi, kiya na, bahut. How will someone feel that bruhya snigdhasya sisyasya, who's submissive? Usually when we use the word seva, especially in Hindi, we follow with that word called sushrusha. Seva sushrusha, unka dekhbhal karna hai. Seva and sushrusha. What does that word sushrusha means? Like there is jigyasa, which we are doing sessions in WP. Jigyasa. Jigyasa means inquisitiveness about knowledge. You want to know about jnana. Pipasa. Pipasa means you're having thirst. You want to quench your thirst. What is sushrusha? Sushrusha means a desire, eagerness to hear. Why we are doing this seva? The desire, the eagerness to hear. Sushrusho shraddhadhanasya. Sushrusho is a very important thing. That doesn't come. But मैं कर तो रहा हूँ ना, मैं सेवा तो कर रहा हूँ, but क्या मूड में? Pranipateena pariprashnena. Ask all the doubts that you have. Clear all the doubts. Pranipateena pariprashnena sevaya. Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshana. Upadekshanti te jnaninas. They are well versed with transcendental knowledge. Spiritual master. He's well jnaninas tattvadarshana. He's not just well versed, he's also realized. He can show us the truth. This knowledge has to be revealed in the heart. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakash. There is no other way. So that's why this is so fundamental. Actually, if you read the words Tadvidhi Pranipatena, in our all understanding of what we do, devotional service will change for good. And Krishna, actually, if you see, Bhagavad Gita is such a wonderful thing. Arjuna's questions, when that word Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam, which I used, one of the qualification of the disciple, have you anywhere you have seen in Bhagavad Gita where Arjuna uses the word Shreya other than 2.7? That's Krishna's word. In the same context as 2.7. That is 2.7. What is 2.7? Karpanya dosha pahata swabhava prichami tvam dharma samudha cheta yat shreyasya nischitam bruhitan me sisyasteham sadhimam tvam prapanna. I'm saying other than that. So that's why you have to read Bhagavad Gita nicely. One book, Bhagavad Gita, has got everything. You read 3rd chapter, 2nd verse. Vyami shraneva vakyena buddhi mohe shiva me tadekam vada nischitya yena shreyo aham apnuyam. Tadekam vada nischitya yena shreya aham apnuyam. Tell me, oh Lord, it's not about now this war, it's not about this action. He's talking about Tadekam vada nischitya. Don't talk to me in equivocal manner. I'm not able to understand. Tadekam vada nischitya. Nischitya is translated by Prabhupada in a certain manner. Yena shreyo aham apnu, which is ultimately beneficial. Ultimately beneficial thing doesn't come easily. Work anyway has to be done. That Krishna time and again mentions. There is one word which he uses, very interesting word. Yusuf word in Bhagavad Gita is also Sarira yatrapi. Sarira yatrapi cha tena prasiddhyate akarmana. If you don't do action, you can't even maintain your body. Sarira yatra, this yatra is translated by Prabhupada as maintenance. Yatra, this yatra, we know the word yatra. Yatra of this body also cannot be maintained if you don't do action. Action has to be done. But at the same time, Arjuna's question is Shreya. Repeatedly is asking, which is ultimately beneficial for me? Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. That jigyasa is very important. And the mood behind doing that action. Mood, what is the mood I am carrying? What mood is there? Is the mood to gain some popularity? Is the mood to show that I was there? What is the mood? If the mood is not right behind the action won't result in pure devotion. That's why tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshana. So on this most auspicious day of Srila Prabhupada's 60th year of arrival over here, sometimes we may wonder as to what I can do. I'm a small this thing, I just do some cleaning of temple hall. Maybe I do some service behind in kitchen, nobody sees. But all the services that we are doing, if we do it with sincerity, if we do it with that mood of pleasing Prabhupada, because this is his mission. Every single fig, even a small ant, small living entity like us, we may not have a lot of influence, but whatever we are doing, if we do it with the proper mood, if we do it with the right intent to please Prabhupada, to please Krishna, our life is a success. We don't have to worry about anything. But if that mood is not there, everything else we will get, not pure devotional service. These are some of the thoughts, reflections on this auspicious day. It's for all of us to reflect. It's not that somebody is very elevated, somebody is... Actually, nobody can compete and say that, well, I'm more sincere than you. Do you know? I come for Mangalarti every day in the morning. Or I do this. That's not the way. It's not here to prove, okay, how many times you didn't come, how many times I am there. Let's count and see who's better. So that means I am more sincere. Sincerity cannot be measured by external this thing. It's the intent that we have inside. That intent that we have, how much we are depending on the Lord. That we know and the Lord knows. That's why, but the measure of that is a person becomes completely fearless. No tension, no anxiety. Completely fearless. The beginning of Bhagavad Gita, we will conclude with this one thought. The beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, so this Bhagavad Gita's unfolding is very, very beautiful. The last verse of first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, what Arjuna says, I think Sanjay, he says, that Soka samdigna manasa, bisrijam sasaram chapam. Arjuna is not able to lift his bow. What is the exact word? Yotsya iti Govinda. No. That is 2.1. 1 point last verse. 1 point. Visrijya sasaram chapam. Soka sambigna manasa. Visrijyam sasaram. He's not able to lift. It's not like Arjuna didn't have the physical strength. He had all the bodily strength. What was it that making Arjuna why he's not able to do that? Soka sambigna manasa. He's overcome with lamentation. Lamentation is a sign of fear. Lamentation is a sign of when you're fearful, you're scared. And there's lamentation. What is going to happen now? Who is going to take care of me? And if you carefully read, one of the reasons why he's not able to do is because of the illusion in the heart. And how 18th chapter we are reading Bhagavad Gita now, what Arjuna says at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Nashta moha smritir labdva tvat prasadat. That burden of moha is so much. He's not able to even lift his gandiva. He's not able to do his duty. That is what sometimes happens to us. When we want to take care of our own life in our own way, in our own plans, we feel overburdened. We don't know what to do. Whereas a pure devotee, Narayana para sarve, na kutaschana bibhyati. They're always carrying the Lord in their heart, Narayana para. And their mat para, Krishna uses that word so many times in Bhagavad Gita. Narayana para sarve, na kutaschana bibhyati. Swargapavarga tulyeshu, Swargapavarga narkeshu tulyartha darshanaha. Whether it is Swarga, whether it is Apavarga, or whether it is Narka, they are not worried. Because they are engaging in devotional service with the intention of pleasing the Lord, with the intention of pleasing a pure devotee. Narayana para sarve, na kutaschana. There is no fear then. What will happen? What will happen? The means and the end, everything is same. We are doing devotional service to do more devotional service. And when somebody is convinced, fixed in that, carries the Lord in the heart, there is no fear. Na kutaschana bibhyati. Swarga apavarga narkeshu tulyartha darshina. He is seeing with equal vision, with one tulya. Tula is that balance. He is seeing with equal this thing. Whether it is Swarga, apavarga or narka, it doesn't matter because I am engaging in devotional service. That is what is the difference. And that is what we should aspire for. We should pray to Srila Prabhupada. We are really fortunate. So fortunate we are. We don't value our good fortune. And we while away with so many other distractions. And we justify those actions based on our mind's dictation. So I have to become alert. I should become introspective. Not for anybody else. Not to show someone. For my own good. for my own this thing that I should come out of the bondage of this birth and death. And this opportunity is available. Srila Prabhupada is available in our life. Why not take it seriously? We'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Prabhupada's 60th year arrival, Maha Mahotsav ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari.